Welcome to the Traditional Way Podcast. I'm your host, Brett Shumway. This podcast is brought to you by the Martial Arts Center Network, where you can find all things martial arts related on our social media pages and on our website at www.mainternetwork.com, where you can catch up on all the open circuit karate news with Inside Scoop, catch a movie review with fists, kicks, and flicks, or find out what's happening in the jiu-jitsu and MMA worlds on the Winner's Circle, plus all of our sport karate videos from tournaments. And now you can catch all of that on the Martial Arts Center Network app, which is available for download on the Apple and Google stores right now. On this episode, we are going to cover the results from the final Series A event of the season from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, that took place on the 3rd through the 5th of October. Now, this event had over 1,000 athletes from 81 countries present for the 14 divisions offered, giving you that large divisions that are exclusive to the Series A. What I like about the Series A event is it allows, the final one of the year allows the top 32 ranked athletes to compete. Even though they will not receive ranking points for their performance at this event, it really comes in handy for a couple of top athletes. Most notably, Kuala Salazar, who hasn't been active since March of this year due to her knee injury. With the World Championships less than 50 days away, this event gives her the opportunity to get some ring time in before that. Same can be said for Trinity Allen. She did not have a great showing in Rabat, and she opted out of the last Premier League event to stay home and compete at the USA Open. Now, I believe she is America's best shot at a medal in Kumite at the World Championships. So let's hope that this event gets her back on track. However, she will have to deal with the world number 3, Valentina Meneses, who is also in attendance for this division. The defending minus 61 kilogram world champion Li Gong looked to get some ring time in before she heads to Cairo to defend her title. Not as many top 10 ranked men opt to take advantage and compete in Malaysia. However, Ivan Kavesic did, and rightly so. 2025 has not been kind to Ivan. As for the former world champion attempt to get back on track going into the world championships, let's hope to see what he can do. And with the mix-up of up-and-coming athletes and top stars in attendance, let's take a look at what happened in Kuala Lumpur at the Series A. Let's start off with the biggest shock of the tournament. Kuala Salazar fails to secure a match as she loses in the first round, which shows maybe she isn't back to 100% coming off that injury. The rest of the 51 ladies left in the minus 50 kilogram division fought down to the semifinals, where the first match of that round saw Shamalarani Chandran and Yi Sang fight to a 0-0 draw, where Chandran would be awarded the decision. The second match of the round would see Shara Hubrick defeat Maya Sharar by a score of 2-0. In the final, Hubrick fell to Chandran by a score of 5-1. This is a great confidence builder for Chandran, as she's already qualified for the World Championships and looking like she could make an impact there. In the minus 55 kilogram division was the largest female Kumite division with 74 athletes raring to go. In the first fight of the semifinal round, we got the matchup where we were looking for world number 3 Valentina Meneses and world number 9 Trinity Allen, and I wish I could sit here and say that it was all we hoped for, but it wasn't. And it ended in a disappointing 0-0 draw where Meneses would be awarded the decision, and a bunch of spectators missed out on what should have been a great performance by these two. However, the second match of the round did live up to expectations as newcomer Ai Ito and Anna Chernysheва fought their hearts out and for the fans, and it ended up that Ito won that match 7-6. She took that energy into the final, where she would lose to Meneses in a similar fashion by a score of 7-6. In the minus 61 kilogram division started out with 62 athletes and some top 15 ranked fighters present, most notably former Premier League Grand Winner Reem Kamas, who lost early in the rounds, then fought her way through the repechage to claim bronze medal at this event. Now, the first round of the semifinals started out with newcomer Kanon Irakawa defeating Emily Bonilla 7-3. In the second match of the round, Suzu Hashimoto lost a close fight to the reigning world champion Li Gong by a score of 4-3. The final was another close fight for Li Gong, but she pulled it out 4-3 to secure the gold. As she gets ready to defend her title at the World Championships, I would say, all things considered, she's looking pretty good coming into that event. Only 50 women came into the minus 68 kilogram division at this event, and surprisingly, not many top 20 athletes were present. The final four started off with Madeline Schroeder defeating Tessemi Acid by a score of 2-1. And in the second round, we saw the most exciting match of the event, where Salzburg's gold medal winner Mashiro Ikeda and newcomer Hana Divigili, fought their heart outs, with Ikeda taking the match by a score of 16-12. Akita would roll into the final and defeat Schroeder by a score of 6-0 to take home the gold and remain perfect within the WKF thus far. Now, in the smallest Kumite division of the event was the over 68 kilogram division that only had 39 athletes present. Salzburg's winner, Julia Krott, failing to see the podium again as she placed 7th at this event. And the final four start off with Tassem Masakny having the event of her young career as she defeats world number 20 ranked Julia Danitskewa 5-1 to advance to the final. Where in the second match of the round saw Arika Garang walk through Amelie Hakova 7-0, setting up the final where Garang would top Messaskani 2-1 to secure her first gold medal of her career and give her enough points to secure her spot within the Premier League next season. Now, the female kata had one shy of a full bracket with 127 athletes looking to top the podium. A lot of intrigue as Salzburg's winner, Elena Roversi, gets knocked out in the third round and loses the second match of the repechage, placing her in 11th place. With 5 of the pool winners coming out of Japan, they would knock out all but one, leaving 3 of the final 4 coming from the land of the rising sun. The first match of the final saw Katomi Saito's Unsu defeat the Chadnar Kusanku of Honoku Murayama by 1-4 point. The next match saw Chibana no Kusanku of Carola Casale fall to the Paparin of Azuka Iwatani by 0.4 points, setting up an all-Japanese final where Saito would run Goshio Sho and Iwatani would opt to run Chadnar Kusanku. In the end, it was all Sato, as she would win the match by 1 full point to remain perfect within the WKF. Now, that's not a small feat by itself, but when you consider this is her 6th event and she has never lost, including a Cadet Kumite Continental title from 2019. If she wasn't on your radar before, she should be now. She's going to make big waves in 2026. The Team Kata division came down to Peru and China in the final match with a Shiduru versus Shotokan matchup, where Peru opted to run Unsu, but would come up short against the Anand of China, who would outscore them by a final score of 42.0 to 40.8 to secure the gold medal. 92 men would put their name in the hat in the minus 60 kilogram division, but the final 4 saw newcomer to the veteran age category as Mohamed Nasir makes his debut in the division, defeating Lei Shi in the first round of the semis by a score of 4-0. Salzburg's silver medalist Hiroki Ito would win a close matchup over Naveen in the second match of the round by a score of 3-2. Ito and Nasir would fight it out in the final, where Ito would take that match by the Senshu advantage after a 3-3 tied match. This looks like this will be enough to get him in the Premier League next season, which is not a bad, only spending his first full year within the WKF on the Series A. The largest Kumite division of the event was the minus 67 kilogram division with 95 athletes ready to go. Biggest excitement for me in this division was a step up in age for Matt Rambeau. He's already had a great career, bringing his 88% win rate and 10 WKF golds with him into the adults. He'd end up in 9th overall, but I'm sure this is just the beginning for the young man. Now, this also may be the only time I've seen 3 of the final 4 being athletes with the individual neutral athletes designation. But there's a first time for everything. The first fight of the semis saw Erik Organisian win a close fight over Ahmed Akhmedov 4-3. The world number 6 Tomas Fuentes loses to an exciting match to Evgeny Son 9-8, setting up the final where the two would fight to a 0-0 draw and Oganessian would be awarded the decision. 93 athletes were present in that minus 75 kilogram division with no surprises in the early rounds. Now, the first fight of the semifinal saw Morteza Namadi and Ryan Gary battle it out where Namadi won that fight 2-0. The next fight of the round saw newcomer Ali Rahimi and the world number 3 Ernest Sharafutinov match up where Sharafutinov would walk through that match 10-4 on his way to the final, where he would lose to Namadi by a score of 6-1. This is a huge win for Namadi as he hasn't seen the podium since the beginning of the year, but he would end his year with bookend golds to finish out the Series A. The minus 84 kilogram division also had 93 athletes present, and as mentioned at the top of the show, this was Ivan Kavesic's chance to turn his year around. He wouldn't have the best showing, but still would place in 9th place at the end of the event. The final 4 started off with Yusuf Temazil losing to Ali Al-Zabari by a huge spread of 16-6. In the next match, Ugar Akhtas would lose to the world number 3 Edward Gasparian by his final score of 8-4. The final would be an exciting back and forth where Gasparian would pull out the victory at 8-7. This gives him a win to end his year as he hasn't seen the podium since April of this year. The 83 men who started out the over 84 kilogram division would be shocked as world number 7 Salai Al-Bazari would be taken out in the third round of the pool. He would then fight his way back to secure a bronze medal but the favored to win the division lost that chance earlier than anyone thought. The one to take him out and start off the first fight of the Final Four was Kentaro Yamuchi, who defeated Fadal Busig 4-2 to move on to the finals. And in the second fight of that round, Kadir Gens would face off against veteran fighter Rodrigo Rojas, where Gens would win that match 5-3 to advance. And the final was all Yamuchi, as he would secure his first WKF gold by a score of 7-0, adding to his silver from Salzburg. The men's kata division shaped up just like the women's, with 127 athletes present for the division. But this time it was an all-Japanese semifinal, where the first matchup was between Salzburg's winner Iji Otsuki and newcomer Kariri Nendai, with Otsuki performing Paparin and Nandai running Super Empe. In a close matchup, Otsuki would edge out the win by 0.2 points. In the second matchup, newcomer Senna Manoi would opt to run a non against Salzburg's bronze medal Okamoto Ken's Sochin. But this match would not be close, as Ken won this round by 1.3 points. In the final, Ken opted to run Unsu and Otsuki would run Super Empe. In a close final, it was Ken that would come out on top by a score of 42.8 to 42.4, finishing the 2025 season with this gold medal to go along with his silver and bronze he's already won in the Series A for 2025. The men's team kata division would come down to Chinese Taipei and Kuwait in the final. And in an all Shotokan matchup, both teams opted to go with the top kata in the system, Unsu, which is the choice for most every Shotokan team for a final. Unfortunately, it would not be close, as Kuwait dominated this match, winning by a margin of 2.2 points. Now, everyone who listens to this show has heard me go into length about the reemergence of Shotokan within the WKF, and this event just showed that. Now, I'm not going to hide that I'm a little partial on this subject. I'm a Shotokan practitioner. I've obtained rank in Shotokan, and when I compete, I tend to run Shotokan forms. So I want to be very transparent as I can on this, as I do have a little bit of favoritism towards this style. However, this event showcased Shotokan katas in every kata division final, and it has been years where that has been the case within WKF. Now, to be fair, this isn't that uncommon in team kata division. Shotokan is made for team kata. And what I mean by that is the way it's taught is very structured, and when it comes to the cadence of the kata, it's very common for a Shotokan instructor to teach the entire class by calling out the cadence and the entire class following along. Now, this makes it very easy for three of them to compete with kata and come to the synchronization between them very easily. Additionally, the structure of the katas doesn't vary much from school to school. From an organizational standpoint, it does a little bit. So a JKA affiliated school would find it very easy to team up with an individual from another JKA affiliated school. So we have always seen Shotokan be very strong in the team divisions. But in Malaysia, both individual kata divisions were won by Shotokan athletes as well. Now, this could just be a one-time thing, but many factors could be the case as why this could happen, right? So it could be Shotokan is just favoring the judges in this region. That is not a far-fetched possibility. We have seen that before go the other way, where Shidoru won all the divisions. And if this possibility is probable because of the amount of Shotokan athletes that competed in Kuala Lumpur. Regardless of the reason, I'm super excited to see Shotokan being done in the WKF again. It has been a long time since it has won on a consistent basis, and I'm hoping that the tide is turning in that regard. Also, just like Salzburg, the Japanese presence continues to shine in the Series A to end the year. They secured 12 medals, including 5 golds at this event. I was a little surprised by the lack of golds from top-ranked athletes. A lot of them were in attendance, but only 2 golds were won. World number 3, Valentina Meneses, takes home the gold in the minus 55 kilogram division, and world number 3, Edward Gasparion, won the minus 84 kilogram division. But 2 out of 14 is not the best record for these top-ranking athletes. And with that, I want to thank you guys for watching another episode of The Traditional Way. Join me on the next episode where I'll cover the last chance for athletes to qualify for the World Championships at the qualification phase event in Paris. Until then, continue to support the Martial Arts Internet Network by liking and sharing all of our content. And if you haven't already, download the app and stay up to date with all the happenings within sport karate. Until next time, guys.